Welcome back, everybody. Here we are, Greenberg Hotel. Everybody loaded in safely this time around. We're going to get it started here. It's going to be Boston Burgers on that good side, the preferred side. You can soak up a lot of P1 time here, but the most important thing is you got to get those kills.
And P2 spawns are very important here. So Dallas does lose a lot of time on those P1 hill, but they have the early rotation, so P2 left for sure.
They absolutely do, but as we say that, the spawns have flipped a little bit. Boston Burgers are going to be retaining that P2 side of the map for now, and you see they're kind of playing a little bit slower, waiting for everybody to spawn up, making sure nobody flips those spawns unintentionally, because we all know how kind of mixy they can get on this first P1, but the kill's still going in their favor. Great start for them. They get 14 seconds on that P1, and you get that rotation.
Yeah, great job by Boston right there, taking a lot of hill time on P1. Right now, they're fighting on P2. DevX does get shut down. KJ gets 1 kill. Right now, Dallas just trying to get the early rotations, but Boston just kills all around.
Yeah, I mean, Dallas was in a very solid spot there with KJ in the bat. They will be getting that back spawn, but, you know, this is not the situation they would want to be in. You would want to be locking down that time, especially with Ozza popping 2 pieces like that. Sensei going to be able to get in that time for now, but Boston Burgers quick to contest. Dallas spawning out that Shandy side, and it seems as if they're aware of it.
Right now, Boston with a very tight-knit game right here between them and Dallas. Fallen gets 1, Shoku gets the other, and just a lot of contested hill time on this P2 hill. Boston does seem to be getting the scrap time, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a fight for that scrap time. 22 seconds left to go. That's a good chunk of time right there, but it looks like Boston Burgers is going to be able to lock that down. 15 seconds left, though. You see the Burgers, they have a lot of time to kind of work with to make their way across that map. You see player 7 falling. He's already bottom bed, gets cut down. You still got DevX to work with, and you don't get that final 10 seconds of scrap. But KJ kind of out of the play for now. Boston trying to make a front push happen from this freezer side. And let's see how these kills go.
Inside stage, just making sure to hold up that back spawn. Bolty does get shot down by DevX. Owza, though, and Sensei gets 1 pick on him. Right now, Dallas just trying to get back into the lead. Have a really good hold so far on this P4, P3 hill.
Yeah, and you see Dallas, they're opting to kind of just stack this middle kitchen hill, but the kill's somewhat going the way of the Burgers. Oz is going to play his life for just a moment. He's got DevX working over him, and as long as you can test this time for Boston, this is a good thing, especially with Dallas spawning out at that restaurant side of the map. 24 seconds left to go. Another good chunk of scrap time, and yet again, it goes toward the Boston Burgers.
And you can see the 2 Dallas players already rotating to P4. They're just going to give the scrap time to Boston. Boston is going to have a slight early lead, but Dallas in a very good position to get back into this.
Absolutely. 5 seconds left to go before that hill pops. If you're Dallas, you kind of want to cement this time for now. Sensei with a great start to the game, 10 and 6. On the other side, you got Fallen, 8 and 4 with that SMG in hand. The first set of kills somewhat going the way of Dallas as Fallen picks up that kill. Eldes, it might get a little mixy. Boston going to be spawning at that back spot area shortly. And this is going to be a head-on collision. Who's going to come out on top?
And Boston just playing very patient, making sure to get picks before they jump into the hill. DevX gets 1, and Bolty with the unfortunate friendly nade, and Fallen with another. And just like that, Boston do have control of that P4 hill.
Shoku and Fallen doing some great things right now. Ozza and DevX helping out as well. Nobody really running away with all that hill time, but Boston Burgers are going to be cementing a sizable lead right here. This is big scrap time. This is scrap time that could tie the game up or put Boston Burgers 40 points ahead. So Dallas, they are going to fight for it, but DevX, he just cannot be cut down, currently playing so well behind that pillar. They're going to find that final 10, and you already see it's a fight for new. 4 seconds left to go. Jay Reaper's going to pick up a big 2-piece, and for now, this is going to be a Dallas hold, but we've seen Boston break before.
And we've seen Dallas just getting early rotations every time. They do get a lot of times, which is why they're still in this. However, Boston has just proven to be a very good breaking team. And they're very much okay with getting scrap times after a long contest. And just like that, Boston takes 3 down, are in control of the hill. 100-72 for the side of Boston.
Yeah, and Dev just able to run through that rugs area uncontested, picks up a big 2-piece to open things up there. And that's kind of been the story of the game for the Dallas Flat Tires. Leave one thing open, Boston Burgers are going to hit that. So with 29 seconds left to go, this is big time for them. This is really, obviously, the biggest lead they've had so far, making a huge difference in these final 2 hills. And as we get to this P6, you already see it's going to be player 1, Jay Reaper. He is rotating that direction, but Shoku is creating somewhat of a presence in this kitchen side area. That final scrap time going the way of Dallas for now. As I say that, Boston going to pick that up, but this next rotation going to be a big one. Dallas going to want to really get a full 60 on one of these hills if they want to tie this up before P1.
Definitely, and I could see Dallas just holding this hill really. And from the side of Fallen and DevX on Boston, just great performances from both teams all around. And right now, Dallas just in control of this last hill.
Joku and Fallen combining for 3 each. Last player on the hill is going to be Jay Reaper. Fallen going to be missing those shots, but 18 and 8 for Fallen so far. Having an absolutely fantastic game, double positive, and like you said, DevX doing some great things as well, sitting at 15 and 7. Really making the difference there for the Boston Burgers. They're not really getting, they're not outslaying by too much, but it's making that little difference. They're up 28 right now, still fighting for the contention on this P6. It seems like we've had a lot of contests here today, Blepsy. You know, back and forth, the pendulum swings between these two teams. But for now, Boston Burgers coming out on top. 7 seconds for the second rotation of hills, and this is where things really get real.
Yeah, they do, and Boston with a 40-point lead, so Dallas are still very much in this. And once again, Dallas does get the early rotation. They seem to be fighting for rotations quite often, while Boston does get the scrap time. However, Boston is proving to be an amazing breaking team. However, KJet does get the kill right there and keeps the time for Dallas.
Yeah, and this second P1 is kind of a sleeper, one that you can get a good chunk of time on if you play it right now. Dallas Flat Tire is using that to make their way back into this game, but as I say that, the Boston Burgers are going to clean up that hill. With 33 seconds left, there is a good chunk of time left to go, and Dallas Flat Tires, you know, they're going to be kind of grappling with themselves. It's like, do we hit this? Do we rotate toward that new hill? And it looks like they're trying to fight for this final scrap time, but the kills go the way of Boston Burgers, and they may pay for that mistake.
That was always a huge two-piece right there, already rotating all the way to the back. Boston have control of that P1 scrap, but you can see all the players just fighting for that P2 hill, fighting for those P2 spawns. Fallen with a 3-piece.
Big 3-piece out of Fallen.
Shut down by both.
Yeah, that's going to be a big swing for them. Boston Burgers able to pick up that final scrap time of the P1 and rotate toward that P2 as well. Some of these fights just going the way of the Burgers that Dallas would definitely want back. Some situations that they're maybe misplaying by just a minor bit, and it's costing them a big chunk of time, but that's what happens when you're playing solid players like the ones on the Boston Burgers. They're running away with this one now. 40 seconds left to go, and truly this is dagger time, Blepsy, so Dallas Flat Tires, they need to make a play now.
They definitely do, and you can see Bolty just trying to go in. He gets a 2-piece. That's exactly what you need. Contesting the time. He needs to stay alive while his teammates come in. KJet with one, Sensei with the other. And just like that, Dallas sort of stay in it if they get that 20 scrap time.
DevX doing a great job at contesting for just a moment, but with 16 seconds left to go, the rotation to new is most definitely going to be in. Jay Reaper going to be the first one here. Maybe going to attack the side door here, but Fallen, he's ready for it. The rest of the Dallas Flat Tires very far away. Shoku's picking up kills as well. Dallas Flat Tires in the blender right now. How do they get out of it? Because for now, Boston, they're only up 60 points, but that's a whole hill, and Dallas Flat Tires keep getting shut down off spawn.
And this is something we haven't really seen from the side of Boston of going for the early rotations. So this could be very dangerous because we've seen once they break, they're very good at holding. And right now, they're doing a great job of just holding Dallas away from the hill, not giving them any chance to contest at any time. Right now, it's 220 to 140 for the side of Dallas, for the side of Boston.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, at the second half of this game, the Boston Burgers have just been slaying out of their minds. You look at the scoreboard, you see Shoku, Fallen, DevX, all absolutely frying, plus 10, plus 12, whatever you name it. And only 20 seconds left to go. The Burgers can win it here, but it looks like they're going to opt for that early rotation. They know Dallas are going to hit that. They do. They fight for that scrap time, but at what cost? They were forced to, and now the Burgers are going to be fully ready for this new hill. Maybe they can close it out here.
Just like you said, Dallas is in a very tough position. They have to fight for scrap time. They have to fight for rotations. It's an impossible task, but they might be able to do it. KJ just get one, but DevX does shut him down at the reception area and 5 seconds away from taking this Boston.
Absolutely is. One more push onto that hill. It's going to come from the Dallas Flat Tire side, Fallen all alone on the hill. Jay Reaper going to be able to hold this for a moment. 249 to 152. This would have to be a monumental comeback for the Dallas Flat Tires to come back into this. That's going to be a big 3 down. They're going to jump on that hill, and that's going to do it. The Boston Burgers close that one out with a dominant fashion. The kills were flying across the kill feed. It was green a lot of the time. The Boston Burgers looked great in the game one. The Dallas Flat Tires, couple mistakes, couple of misplays, and that's really the difference maker. Here we are with map 2 of the first match of the day. The Boston Burgers go up 1-0 in the series after a very solid Game 1 hard point. Dallas Flat Tires trying to bounce back in this Game 2 search and destroy on the Fortress. The first round is a stalemate. Who's going to get that first blood?
And Shoku gets that first blood right there. Boston is on the offensive side. Sensei does trade him out. And right now it's 3 versus 3.
3 versus 2 now, but a 2v2 scenario. Both of these players in that open side of the map, and it looks like the Burgers are somewhat aware of it. They're playing patient, waiting for the right time to strike. Only 33 seconds left on that bomb, though. They're going to have to move quick. DevX gets kind of a rough timing, but he is able to pick up one. The other Burger, he cleans up the final one. Boston Burgers going up 1-0 in the map very early on. Looking like they carried over that momentum from that hard point.
And great job by Boston right there. I mean, getting the bomb down, being patient, not over-challenging, even though you knew where they were. Just taking your time and just... Boston, just pull off that 2v2 bomb down. And right now, take a quick 1-0 lead on that Fortress.
Absolutely. Sensei with the big 2 kills in that first round, but the 2v2 doesn't go your way, and that happens at times, especially when that offensive team's able to get that bomb down early. But here we go, Dallas on that offensive end this time around. Boston Burgers going to heavily stack that A bomb site. The first blood goes K-Jet's way. Dallas Flat Tires need to collapse and, you know, find this round win, you know, early on, hopefully, especially after a quick 4v2 scenario.
And Dallas already with a 4-2 lead in terms of lives right here. Following though on the flank, gets one, makes it a 3v1. Can he get the second? Yes, he can. It's a 2v1, bomb down for Dallas. Needs to retake and defuse the bomb.
Should be a big round to win, a big momentum builder for the Boston Burgers. Not sure he's going to spot that player in the back, but he is going to. 31 seconds left to go. He could very easily win this one. He's got time left to work with. You see Jay Reaper getting a little bit worried, going to camp in that shield corner, but Fallen, he's running out of time. You want to close out this round, but you don't have too much to work with.
And Fallen's daddy did get reset, so he was able to move around. He probably would have played for streak right here if you're on a 4-1 kill streak, but he does get shut down. Dallas do end up winning that round and tie it up 1-1.
You know, almost an insane clutch out of Fallen to be able to pick up those kills and find that W, but nonetheless, Jay Reaper able to find that final kill, and the game is tied at 1. Great job out of the Dallas Flat Tires to find those 2 first bloods and close out that round. They get that bomb down, and, you know, it forces Fallen to make a play. You never want a 1v1 where you got your bomb in your hand and you don't really know what to do with it. So, big round out of them. Fallen 4-1, though. No streak to his name, but back on the offensive end, let's see if the Burgers can close out another one.
Right now, just... people just throwing stuns and nades, trying to figure out where everyone is. Shoku does get first blood. It is 4-3, and it gets a 2-piece and makes it 4v2. Boston have the opportunity to plant the bomb too.
Shoku just flying at that open doorway, finding a big 2-piece now 4v2 scenario. And K-Jet is on the flank, so this is kind of a good scenario, but Ozza able to watch over DevX in the back. Now it's Bolty left all alone in a 1v4. This is going to be a very tough round to win. Burgers looking absolutely fantastic in the search and destroy.
The one thing to note about Fortress S&D is retakes are extremely difficult when you do have bomb down. And Boston just does a great job covering up all angles, getting bomb down quickly after that 4v2 2-piece from Shoku. And just like that, they take a 2-1 lead on S&D.
Switching sides yet again, it's going to be those Dallas Flat Tires on the offensive end. And, you know, this map is so straight up, it's kind of hard to make those adjustments, but I want to see what they do to kind of tackle that push that the Boston Burgers have been making. They've been playing real fast at that A-bomb side of the map, but it looks like Sensei, he's going to try to take matters into his own hands. He is able to pick up one, quickly trade it out, but now you know Ozza has that snipe in the back pocket, but the rest of the Burgers, they're making their way into bottom R. Even though it's a 3v2 situation, this round isn't over yet.
And DevX makes it a 2v2 situation. Bomb is not down yet. So Dallas just trying to figure out where these Boston players are before they make a move for the bomb. Jay Reaper does have a dead silence in hand if he wants to move around, and he does pop it right now.
Should be able to go down. Fallen and DevX not necessarily making any plays on the map right now, but you see Fallen trying to make his way through that street side of the map. Big kill out of Dev, leaving J Reaper in a 1v2 scenario. To be a big round to win if he's able to pull this one out of his back pocket, but Fallen with another big kill. Gonna close out that round. 5-1 so far through the game. DevX 6-1. These guys are carrying the load for the Boston Burgers, and it's taking them to a 3-1 lead.
And this was our first defensive round win. So Dallas, they're still in it. It's only a 2-round difference. However, Boston right now just playing on another level. The teamwork, the awareness that this Boston team has is honestly very inspiring.
Absolutely inspiring is the right word. Dallas gonna have to kind of make something happen. You know, it's still early on in this game, so you know you can always, you know, maybe tumbleweed these rounds together, maybe tie things up early on. But Boston Burgers, they have all the steam they could possibly ask for. Nobody in this top singles area. Bolty's able to pick up one. That's a great start to the round, especially when he gets a second. Now you got to really try to close this one out. We've seen 2v4 situations potentially go the Burgers' way in the past. Let's just make sure that doesn't happen again.
And if you're the side of Dallas, you need to get aggressive with those SMGs. Bolte just doing a great job right now, getting that two-piece at the start, giving the side of Dallas an advantage. And right now, they just have to be patient, try and figure out where that Boston players are. KJet gets one. Right now, it's all up to Shoku.
Sensei is able to take him down, and the Dallas Flat Tires put another round on the board. 3-2 now. You know, Dallas, of course, you know, in a solid spot for the future, especially now that you've won that defense. The defense can be a little bit tough at times on that fortress because, you know, that A bomb site's so available to, you know, that offensive team. So if you can get that bomb down quickly, like you said earlier, it can be so hard to make those retakes happen. Dallas in a comfortable spot to maybe pick up another round on the board and tie things up. They just need to make sure that the Boston Burgers do not get too mixy in that bottom heart area because they've been kind of attacking it early on. So let's see how they adjust.
And Fallen with a great start. Gets the first blood right here. He's 7-2 and puts Boston in a very good advantage. However, Bolte does tie up the live advantage 3-3.
So tough for the Dallas Flat Tires. You got that bomb at that back staircase area. DevX can be watching over it. And you got Shoku trying to assist as well. Player 4 Ozza with that snipe in hand. Hasn't really gotten much done with it just yet, but still maybe trying to make a play. KJet is able to make the bomb, or grab that bomb, and sneak away from Dev. But what are they going to do with it now? They got player 7 at B. They might be able to make a play over here.
They definitely can. And Sensei right now just going on a little bit of a flank, trying to get information. Ozza does see the cross, so he probably did tell his teammates that it might be a B plant. However, Boston are very much okay with the retake instead. Sensei gets one. Bolte gets the other, and it's a 3v1 with bomb down on B. Fallen makes it a 2v1.
Yeah, it's never over when Fallen is alive. 8-2 so far. He's been frying so far in the search and destroy, but in kind of a tough situation yet again. What can he make happen? He spots that player up top, unable to find that kill. Big kill out of KJet, the Dallas Flat Tires. Put another round on the board. And I love the mid-round adjustment to really make your way over to that B-bomb site, you know, swiftly. Sensei makes that initial play. He's able to find a pick off the back of it as well. They get that bomb down, and then everything collapses upon itself. So great plays out of the Dallas Flat Tires. You got to keep up that creativity, and you can very easily win this search and destroy. But you just do not want to play into the Boston Burgers' hands, and I'm glad that the Dallas Flat Tires did not do that in that last round.
Yeah, it was a very great adjustment at the end. And the thing with B is once you get bombed down, it's very difficult to retake, almost impossible. But it is difficult to get the plant at the start. So teams typically do go for the A plant.
You see the Boston Burgers really trying to slow things down here, maybe pick up another round on the board, but Sensei's going to be getting quick in that open side area, put some shots down into Shoku. Bolte's able to help out as well to find that kill. DevX looking for a trade, but he's unable to find it. Now a 4v2 scenario, and I mean, you got all the Dallas Flat Tires in these open and closed areas. They're applying the pressure, but as Sensei chows on out, he's going to get taken down. And let's just hope another one of the Flat Tires don't do so as well. Bolte able to pick that one up, and another 1v3 for Ozza. Dallas Flat Tires going to take the lead here in Search and Destroy.
And Dallas is doing a great job of not overextending. They got the bomb planner, they killed the bomb planner, and it was just they played patient. They made sure that they can go. They had J Reaper go on a flank. The rest were playing at the open and closed doors area, and just making sure not to overextend. Communicate when they find an enemy player, and just a great job right now taking the lead. That's 3 rounds in a row for the side of Dallas.
Yeah, big turnaround in the search and destroy. I thought it was the Burgers at first that were maybe going to run away with this. But the Dallas Flat Tires showing they got some fantastic search and destroy presence, especially with Sensei picking up a big 2-piece right there to open things on up from that P1 area. So now 3v2 scenario. Fallen gets taken down as well. Now it's going to be Shoku left in a 1v3. A lot of 1v3 situations for the Boston Burgers. Another round on the board. That's 4 straight for the Dallas Flat Tires, and they're slowly but surely running away with this one. But don't be so quick to call the final score yet, because we do potentially have a 5-3 curse on our hands.
We do, but Dallas is 1 round away from it. They do have the momentum right now, winning 4 rounds in a row. And if they do play patiently, just like how they have been, this should be in the bag for the side of Dallas. However, like you said, never count Boston out, especially with Fallen going 8-5 right now.
Absolutely, he's kind of slowed down in the second half. He was 8-2 just a moment ago. Died 3 straight times. Might be the catalyst for why the Dallas Flat Tires were able to kind of come back into this steadily. But let's not counter chickens before they hatch yet, because the Boston Burgers on that offensive side. This A bomb site is open, but Ozza kind of throws his life away over at that P1 area. This spells danger for the Boston Burgers.
And Sensei started off a little slow, but he really heating up towards the second half of this SMD. Right now, Sensei is 8-6. He did get that 2-piece on the earlier round. He does get shut down from Shoku right now. And Bolty, can he get the kill? Yes, he can, but DevX trades him. It's a 2v2 situation. Bomb is still not down for the side of Boston.
Yeah, and great looks out of DevX to help out Shoku in that situation. Make sure he can find his trade. You simplify this to a 2v2 scenario. This is a very winnable round from the side of the Boston Burgers, but they look a little shell-shocked now. Kind of a dangerous situation. They don't want to make a play just yet, but the timer's running down by the second. 25 left to go, and they still got to get this bomb down.
And Dallas in a great position to look at either bomb site. Right now, they're playing the open doors area. Great stun from Boston just to get information. They will be able right now. But J Reaper gets the kill. And a huge kill from the side of Boston. Seconds away from losing this map, and instead turn it to a 5v4 DevX. What a 2-piece.
Great shots. Right, fantastic shots out of DevX. The game saver for the Boston Burgers. You got to think the comms are hype. There's some yelling going on in the Boston Burgers voice channel right now. They're feeling themselves after that one, especially Dev on a 3 streak right now. 1 defense away from sending this one to around 11. Dallas, they've looked good on that offensive end. Let's see if they can kind of harness some of that energy they've been using in the past. But Boston Burgers, they do their usual. They're playing quick.
And Shoku does get the first blood. Sensei does trade him out, making it 3v3. And then Sensei with another kill, making it 3v2 for the side of Dallas. Make that 3v1 right now. And Boston, Fallen's the only one left.
Doesn't spot him, but that final player able to pick him up at that P1 area. The Dallas Flat Tires close the game out before it gets a little dangerous. 6-4, they take that one home. They tie the series up at 1. And this one is far from over. Blupsy, the search and destroy looks absolutely fantastic from the Dallas Flat Tires.
And B is definitely the tougher side to start off of, and you can see the side of Dallas just slowly moving into A. And just like we said, Fallen just playing inside the building. He does get a pick. Sensei does get a very good nade though. And right now, Dallas just hopping on that A point.
Big kill out of Fallen. They are going to have to flush him out, kind of like we spoke about early on. But, I mean, hey, it's Sensei on a 3 streak to start things out. Having a fight with DevX at that backside of the map. They know where Fallen is, but he's just on the move all the time. Puts so many bullets into Bolty. I'm not exactly sure how Bolty stayed alive in that situation. Got to be that 1 HP cheese. You know it and you love it. But Boston Burgers getting a good chunk of kills on the map, and Dallas has really been unable to get anything done so far.
And Boston just doing a great job of clearing the Dallas players off. And right now, also doing a great job of getting the awareness, knowing that Dallas is going to spawn on that B side and are going to try to capture it. However, Dallas might be able to get the first stick. No, Shoku does shut down KJet.
Back and forth. Fallen finds one. The Dallas Flat Tires, they do have this A control side of the map. You see Sensei working up real far at this rock side area to maybe make those Boston Burgers players spawn out deep. We will see where they're spawning. And yes, Ozza, he spawns so far away. So Sensei in a very important spot on the map right now, creating so much space. But DevX getting a two kill streak is not what you want, especially when he's on a 5. One off of that cruise missile, and me and you both know, Blepsy, that cruise missile can be so impactful on a map like LST low.
Yeah, especially with both points being open. And you see Auza does get shut down by his teammate DevX. However, Boston is able to clear them off A. Dallas does get that A point, however, and with an extra minute added, they have time to move on to B. And right now, 2 picks from the side of Dallas. Can they get the third? No, Fallen. Great kill right there by Fallen.
And they've yet to deal with Sensei at this top grill side of the map. You see him maybe creating a problem here. He's able to pick up one top grill. He plays his life as well. Boston going to be spawning. Let's see. They are spawning somewhat close, so it may not be the worst thing for Sensei to be where he is right now for the Burgers. Ozza trying to shut him down, but a back and forth goes. And, I mean, Dallas Flat Tires, they've yet to hop onto this B point. The Boston Burgers just creating so much pressure on the field side of the map. As they find those 3 kills, this could be a tough one for Dallas Flat Tires to get back into. You're down 6 lives. You only have 35 seconds left to go, and Burgers have all the map control they would want.
And Sensei is definitely being a menace on the map, getting kills left and right. However, the life advantage is very much so on the side of Boston. 22 seconds left to work with. It's a very difficult situation for Dallas right now. They do get 3 ticks, so it isn't the worst, since this is definitely a defensive heavy map. However, Boston just doing a great job of holding, and it seems like they will run away with this round.
You hop on for just a moment, but Fallen picking up a big 2-piece. KJet, the last one on the point. Is he able to find a second? He does. This is not over yet, but now it is. Boston Burgers find that round win. And, you know, shout out the trophy for finding that last kill. Didn't know that the trophy was going to be the one to close that round out, but hey, you never know. Kind of under the radar, but DevX goes on a 12 streak in the middle of that round. We didn't really get to point that out, but he goes 12-2, I'm pretty sure, in that round. And a 12 streak in the middle, that's a great thing for the Boston Burgers. I mean, the Dallas Flat Tires, they were just unable to make any progress on that side of the map just because DevX is locking down those lanes and Fallen's controlling that middle of the map. Fallen not far behind at 11-5. Let's see what they do on the offensive end. Great start for the Burgers, but the Dallas Flat Tires, they definitely showed... sorry. They showed that they're fierce as well.
And DevX does have the cruise missile in hand, and he didn't even have to use it on that defensive round. So that's a very good asset for them. They might be able to use it on this offensive round, and DevX just not skipping a beat. He's, right now, 13-2. It's a battle between him and Sensei.
DevX creating so much impact, but here's Bolty as well. Ozza with a big kill onto him. DevX going to be that front man at that B point trying to make a play. You have Ozza to help you out. KJet, though, picking up the 2 pieces, locking down those lanes. Don't forget, though, if you're DevX, you got that cruise missile in your back pocket. You probably save it for that defense. You don't need to use it now, but hey, it's always there if you need it. Boston Burgers getting cut down at that B site. You still have Shoku trying to cause a ruckus. Great shots out of Shoku right there. Didn't think he was going to get that one. He does get traded out. He doesn't find that cruise missile, but I mean, I feel like I'm still talking like so much because the Boston Burgers, they just don't stop running.
And Boston seem insistent on capturing that B point first. They already get 2 ticks in, almost getting the third as well. Fallen gets 1, but he does get traded out. And just like that, Boston have an extra minute on the clock. They have a 1 life advantage, and they have the easier A point to work with.
They absolutely do. They've tied up the lives now. Sensei, though, he's still cutting players down with that tack in hand, putting so many shots into Fallen. Runs out of bullets right there. You do have Ozza on the point for just a moment. The Boston Burgers still trying to swarm here. You got Shoku very much so nearby. Jay Reaper going to have to chow out. But Shoku's going to wait for his teammates, wait for that push to create, and it's going to be a head-on collision here right now.
DevX though, just still on fire. 16 and 4. Almost makes it 16 and 5, but he does get shut down. Sensei with a two-piece right here. And Dallas seem to be in control of this 8 point so far.
They definitely are. Bolty picking up a big two-piece. Now those Boston Burgers are going to be trapped back in their spawn. Fallen looking for anything he could find. He's got Shoku nearby at that grill side area. Is Shoku going to find that blood? He does. He's going to try to run away from Sensei, but he's too quick with it. The cruise missile comes in. DevX able to pick up one, and that might be the opener they were looking for, but no more burgers are nearby. In my opinion, that might be a tough, not a very good streak usage in that situation.
And definitely not. Fallen was the only one close, but Bolty does shut him down. DevX though does shut down Sensei, who's been a menace to the side of Boston right now. And just like that, Boston hop on that point. They do get the first stick in, and the stack is in as well.
Stack the point. Word to Jims. You got 3 Boston Burgers on that point right now. K-Jack going to try to make that pinch, but he is too late. The Boston Burgers pick up that second round of a CeeLo control, and that's how quick it can happen. Blupsy, it can happen on any single control map. If you get that 4 down that you're looking for, you can cap that point very swiftly, and it's exactly what the Burgers did right there. They go up 2-0.
Definitely. Only a 9-second cap is all you need. Just make sure you get one wipe, and that's it. So never count any team out, even if the defensive team seems to be in control of that site. Sensei though, 17 and 8 versus DevX 18 and 6. I mean, what a matchup between those two ARs right now that we're witnessing.
Yeah, I mean, we thought DevX was having a good game after that first round, but Sensei not far behind by any means, having a fantastic game of his own. The kill feed is green yet again. Bolty trying to stay alive for just a moment, but the rest of the Burgers are going to swarm. Oz is able to cut him down. They are able to pick up Shoku, which kind of relieves that pressure on the front side, but Fallen still alive. K-Jet finds him, and now if you're the Dallas Flat Tires, you have some room to work with. Sensei going to be trying to move over to that A side of the map, but the rest of the Tires, they're moving toward that B side. They're trying to capture this one first.
Yeah, Dallas is trying to pull off what Boston did in that last offensive round, getting that B point first. However, Shoku just right now gets a two-piece. Can he get the third? No, he gets stuck reloading, and right now it's Sensei with a two-piece. And this could be an opportunity for Dallas to get that B point. However, Fallen still being a menace.
Very menacing on the map right now, but Sensei, he's going to be locking down this bottom B search and destroy area, which is such a huge factor. If the Dallas Flat Tires are able to maybe pick up a couple kills, might be able to create some problems here. You got 2 players nearby for Sensei. He is able to pick up a bad timing, but he's trying to find Ozza, and he does, but he's going to be sent back to that spawn, and the Dallas Flat Tires have no control points yet. No ticks on the board. They are trying to find that A site, but you see it's going to be DevX trying to go that direction. He's able to find him, but as they get on that B point, this is going to be a tough one to re-break. Fallen doesn't see that player on the fence.
Fallen just picks up the player on the fence. Can he get the second? Yeah, yes he can. Sensei's the only one left on that B point, but he does get shut down by DevX. KJ though, giving his team a little bit of hope. 11 seconds left to capture either point. Right now, you can see the stack coming from the side of Dallas on B.
There's hope for sure. You're only down 5 lives if you are the Dallas Flat Tires. You might be able to get this capture in very shortly. Big kill out of Sensei onto Fallen to lock that down, and now the Boston Burgers are going to have to focus on a minute left on the clock for them, so definitely a lifeline for the Dallas Flat Tires for now. You got to try to maybe find these kills and then hop on that point, but Jay Reaper, he's ahead of the game. Shoku's up top, but he has no angles right now.
And you can see the slaying from the side of Boston. Every round, Boston has been outslaying Dallas by a lot, and that just shows you the firepower that Dallas has, the aggression that they have. But like we saw on the earlier offensive round from Boston, one wipe is all you need to capture that A point very quickly.
They're combining for a big couple of kills here. Dallas Flat Tires do have solid control over outer, but Fallen has yet to be cleaned up. Sensei still at this radio side area, but DevX is going to cut him down, and now this becomes very difficult. 35 seconds left to go. Dallas are forced into bottom pool, but you have Fallen already on that side. They're going to hop on right now. They're going to stack this point for just a moment, but they got to stay alive on that point because you have no more lives to work with.
Bolty is the only one left right now. He does get shut down by Aldo, and then Sensei has to get a pick, has to do something. 3 lives left for the side of Dallas, and it seems like an impossible task.
It does seem like an impossible task. 2 lives left to work with, and you have no ticks so far. The Boston Burgers going to be trying to lock down. It's K-Jet all alone, and he's going to get cut down as well. The Boston Burgers make quick work of El Asilo control. They close it out 3-0, and they're the team that go up 2-1 in the series. I mean, Blupsy, I wouldn't be lying if I was saying this is going to be an uphill battle. Map 4, Mercado Hardpoint. Boston Burgers go up 2-1. They've looked very solid in these respawns so far, but Dallas Flat Tires, they're not ready for this one to be over just yet. Boston Burgers, they had the good side for a moment, but Dallas are quick to flip those spawns. You got Boston Burgers spawning out in 10, and K-Jet just trying to stay alive. Yeah, it's a back and forth on this P1. 30 seconds left to go, and all eyes are on that P2.
It seems like an early restart of what we saw on Hotel. Boston getting most of that P1 hill, but Dallas getting the early rotation. However, DevX right now getting 2 kills on that P2, and just like that, Boston do have a chance of breaking in and getting the good spawn.
Absolutely big kill out of Sensei. I mean, this is big. This is a big turnaround if Dallas can find these next couple of kills. And they are able to do so. You do have K-Jet spawning out so far along with J Reaper. So the Dallas Flat Tires just going to try to stay alive for a moment. But the Boston Burgers are swarming. Sensei staying alive still. He finds a big 2-piece on a 4 so far. The rest of the Dallas Flat Tires are able to sprint on in. And the Boston Burgers are on the back foot there over in the back alley.
And DevX seems to be carrying that momentum from the previous map. Right now, he is 5-2. Make it 6-2. And Sensei also 4-2. So both players carrying that momentum that they had from the previous map. Boston is in control of that P2. You can see the side of Dallas thinking of getting the early rotation on that P3 right now. They are setting up.
Yeah, and this is, let's take a closer look at, how that first map went, because, it was kind of what we just saw. Dallas Flat Tires in that hotel, they were rotating early to so many of these hills, but Boston Burgers, they were just so good at applying that pressure and breaking early on, which is what we just saw on that P2. Dallas Flat Tires, they're rotated early again to the P3. Let's see if they can lock it down this time, because so far, the kills are going their way.
And P3 is definitely very much one of the more difficult maps, hills, in order for a team to break. So Dallas are doing a great job right now of holding, and if they do take that full 60, they will be in a very comfortable lead. However, Fallen does get a pick, and just like that, Boston is on the hill.
Yet again, K-Jet, he's trying to pick him up, and he does. Big 30 seconds on the board if they're able to lock this down. None of the Boston Burgers nearby, and Dallas Flat Tires, they have that rotation to P4 as well. What I will say is the Boston Burgers maybe trying to recreate what they did on that map 1. It's going to be a lot harder on this Mercado. We know how hard it is to break these hills, and it's definitely more difficult than on Hotel. So with Boston Burgers with the rotation, this is definitely a good start for them. They just got to lock this down, make sure they find a sizable lead, because this is kind of their recipe to success. They're not going to rotate to many hills, but if they do, they're going to be locking those down.
And just like you said, this is very much a more difficult map to break those hills. So Boston may be trying to change their agenda, going for more of early rotations. Dallas does have a very slight lead right now, but they do need to break this Barber Hill, which they do. Great job by Dallas right there.
Big kills on the board for them. This could be a solid lead for them to get if they're able to make something happen here. You always want that lead in Mercado, because you know that you can make solid comebacks here on Mercado. So you need to make that lead as big as possible, because you never know what can happen. One failed rotation and everything falls apart. 19 seconds left to go. You see a new fight for that new hill is going to come through. J Reaper getting taken down by Fallen. The rest of the Boston Burgers going that way, but K-Jet's going to be quick to respond.
And Boston seems to be okay with giving the rest of that scrap time to the side of Dallas, giving Dallas a 50-point lead. Instead are rotating into this hill and want to do a better job of holding it for sure. But you can see Dallas is already there, already playing at those angles, trying to break it.
Boston Burgers are able to sneak on in. If they find the final, run of this time, they would be able to tie this game up. DevX just looking for kills right now, is able to find one. Shoku locking down that dark alleyway. K-Jet trying to sneak in through the front, but it is a failed effort. 31 seconds left to go. They could find the lead here. And DevX still cutting down that middle of the map. The focus is going to turn to this this P6 for the moment as Fallen picks up Sensei. The rest of the Boston Burgers are going to have to work in that direction. You see all the Dallas Flat Tires are at this new hill, and they're in their power positions. They're where they want to be. They just got to find the kills behind it, and Shoku picks up a big one onto Sensei.
Boston doing a great job on that hill, getting the full 60, tying it up, and right now they are rotating into that bottom P2 hill. Top P2 hill right now, and just KJ in control. However, he does get shut down by Auza. Boston does have a chance moving on from that barber area to break this hill.
Trying to sneak on in. Jay Reaper picking up these kills, though. Bolty's there to assist. This is a big 40 seconds because we know how big that RV hill can be. Shoku, he's cutting players down, though. They might be able to sneak on in here. It's just Bolty on the hill right now. How many can he get? That trophy's cutting down so many tacticals, but he's able to pick up 2. Can he get the 3rd? He does not. 25 seconds left to go, and Fallen picks up a 2-piece as well. So now it's Sensei all alone, and he's kind of grappling with himself. Again, it's like, which direction do you go? Do you maybe go toward that new hill? Do you fight old? And that was definitely the right decision. You got to fight for old there. The rest of the Dallas Flat Tires, they make their way over to this new hill, and they have that locker side control of the map, but Boston Burger still in control of that mid and alley side of it.
Shoku definitely in a good position. He does get shut down by Reaper, and right now Boston just trying to find any way to break into this RV hill. Shoku does get one, and Fallen gets the other, and they seem to be able to break this if Shoku does get this kill, but no, Bolty with a huge kill right there gives his team a chance, and just like that, Dallas are in control. 20-point lead.
Boston Burgers are going to sneak on in for just a moment, but Sensei's watching over top. He finds a big 2-piece, 19 and 14 for the man. He's doing absolutely fantastic things. Finds another on that RV. 22 seconds left to go, and this is big time for the Dallas Flat Tires. Puts them in a very comfortable position for the second rotation of hills. DevX is going to cut him down for finding that final 15, and that's solid in the grand scheme of things. How are they going to react? You see Dallas Flat Tires leaning over toward this P2, but how long will it last for?
Dallas is only 10 points away from tying it up, so this P1 hill is quite important if you can get any time on it. However, you don't want to give those P2 spawns up, so it's important to find the right balance of getting a lot of time on that P1 hill as well as not losing P2.
40 seconds left, and you know, the Boston Burgers are in a very uncomfortable position because you want to fight for this P1 time, but you want to also look for those spawns for P2 as well. DevX is going to get cut down. All of the Boston Burgers are going to be respawning up. And, I mean, Dallas Flat Tires on this good side still. They're soaking up all of this time so far. Boston Burgers down 20 currently. So this could tie things up, and we know how good they are at breaking, but Dallas Flat Tires have looked a lot better at holding these hills in this map here. Let's see if they can, you know, continue with that prowess right here on the P2.
And just like you said, Boston do elect to go for that scrap time as opposed to getting those P2 spawns. Fallen does get one. Can he get the second? No, he gets killed by Bolty. And just like that, Boston is on the hill. However, Dallas seems to be in control of that P2 area. And they maintain the control. Or will Boston be able to take the lead?
Oh no! The double team nade comes in from Jay Reaper, and now the Boston Burgers are in prime position to lock down this hill. Jay Reaper gets cut down as well. It's K-Jet all alone up top. He's going for the knife, but he's still got to find one more at the bottom. It's DevX, and he's such a hard kill with the Vaznev in hand. He finds a second as well. The rest of the Boston Burgers going to try to fly on in, but Auza, he finds another as well. 22 seconds left to go, and Sensei's going to fight for it. The rest of the Dallas Flat Tires are at this new hill, but Fallen and Shoku pick them up. Boston Burgers within 30 of taking this one home. Dallas Flat Tires are going to have to break quick.
A very unfortunate nade there from the side of Dallas. However, Dallas could break this P3 hill. We saw what they did previously on this P3. They held it very well, but Boston get the rotation. They're only 30 seconds away from taking this, and Dallas seem to be nowhere to be found.
Joku's on the pinch as well. Not sure they're going to read this. He has so much information. He finds a first. He finds a second. The final Dallas Flat Tires in that middle side of the map, and he's got to make a play. It's Bolty. He finds the first. but there's so many players left to go. He reads that player in the corner. He opens up an opening for the rest of the Dallas Flat Tires, but it's Ozza all alone, and the Dallas Flat Tires break on in. They buy themselves a lifeline, 30 seconds left to go, and I'm not sure if the Burgers are going to fight for this because somebody's got to rotate.
And Boston, they don't need to play this hill because Dallas can't win on it. They can win on the early rotations on Barber. However, Boston clear them out on P3. KJ has to do something in order to get the kill on Fallen right here. But Fallen with a huge kill and just wins them the game right there, 250 to 228.
Fallen fighting for that scrap time pays off. Pays well. They find the series win 3-1, and I mean, what a game right there. It was so back and forth, so many important moments, and Fallen does a great job at challenging KJ here to make sure he can